Well, glad to have you here with us for the first official weekend of 2017. I'm Shannon Bradburry. We have lots going on coast to coast and really lots to come for this weekend, especially in Atlantic Canada. And that's where we start our storm watch coverage. Winter storm watch as well as winter storm warning in place, really stretching, all of the Atlantic Canada provinces. So lots in store. As you can see here, we have this really deep low that is in the south, and it's bringing snow not only to Atlantic Canada but also south of the border for the next couple of days. We've already seen one shot of snow, but we have more on its way. So we'll play this out. This is Friday evening, and then as we progress, we stop this at overnight hours. As you can see, this first shot makes its way to Newfoundland by the morning hours of Saturday, and then more is on its way as we keep playing this out. Saturday evening, it targets areas like Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then keeps on moving to Newfoundland for Sunday evening. So primarily snow in 17 for areas in Atlantic Canada. Lots of snow. This is a look at the snow totals. So as you can see, areas along the Avalon, the eastern sections, not too much snow. You will see a transition to rain, and then Clarenville's really that transitioning line for mixing. Any areas west of that, a little bit more snow, as you can see Gander there. And then Halifax has already picked up about 7 centimeters of snow. That's before this next system moves through. Then Saturday evening into Sunday, we have more accumulations. As you can see, areas like Sydney and Cape Breton, upwards of 40 centimeters possible. And then St. John's, areas along the Avalon, again, about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. So more snow on the way. It's kind of never ending with this one. Through Saturday, as you can see, in southern Ontario, we have some snow continuing. Lake effect is tapering off throughout the overnight hours. However, it will continue for the weekend. More snow on its way. On top of what we've already received, we are going to see a little bit more snow. So areas along the shores, Georgian Bay, Midland Inline, about 20 more centimeters of snow. That's on top of what you have already seen, and lots of snow has already fallen. Areas like Port Elgin as well as Goderich, upwards of 15 centimeters through Saturday. More is on its way, though. As you can see here, we do have this clipper that is moving in Saturday. It's going to bring some snowfall, and then some lake effect will return for Saturday evening. For Sunday, we have more lake effect, and then Monday, another clipper moves in, bringing widespread snow. So we will see this isolated snow throughout the weekend. So on and off, depending on where you are. In the prairies, you can see we have widespread snow as well, but not too much in terms of accumulation. It is really widespread, though. Areas like Edmonton as well as Calgary likely staying at about 1 to 3 centimeters of snow, so not too much. It's mostly just the cold there. That's what we're talking about, is really just the cold. For BC, we do have this change in pattern. The Arctic air outflow really continues, but then we do have this Pacific air that is moving in next. We'll see a start for snow. And thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Bradburry. Lots going on coast to coast and lots to happen this weekend. If you are heading out the door, we have what you need to know coast to coast. Some rain and snow for parts of BC. Atlantic Canada, some active weather, and then for Tuesday to start the week for southern Ontario, we have a little bit of a warm-up and some messy weather. We start our storm watch coverage, though. All right, we do have some messy weather continuing throughout the overnight hours. Heavy snow rates falling at about 2 to 5 centimeters falling per hour in some areas. So some cases could be heavy snow and then heavy rain for the Avalon, but then we have more on its way. So that was just the first burst. The second burst, Saturday evening, snow moving in for the Maritime provinces, and then it's extending to Newfoundland for the overnight hours. Widespread snow with this one, as well as some strong wind gusts, as you can see, making its way for Sunday. Areas along the Avalon, really Clarenville is the mark there where we could see some mixing. Areas east of that will likely see most rain. So snow at times and then some rain as well. In terms of snow totals, you can see 40 centimeters upwards Saturday evening into Sunday. So areas like Sydney, Cape Breton, as well as parts of Newfoundland as well. So lots of snow on its way with this one. It's going to be quite messy. In southern Ontario, we have some lake effect snow squalls. They are tapering off throughout the overnight hours, so not as bad as what we saw a couple of days ago, Wednesday and Thursday. However, upwards of 20 centimeters of snow for some areas. Prairie Sound, Collingwood, Midland, that's through Saturday. More snow is on its way, though. We do have this developing low pressure that will bring some milder temperatures. So Sunday we have some more snow, but then to midweek we have this event that is going to bring snow to start a significant snowfall, and then reaching even up to the nickel belt, we have milder temperatures and then rain, and then a quick change back to snow. That's midweek. If we take a look outside, it's frigid cold in Calgary. As you can see, minus 22. That's how cold it feels with the wind chill for Saturday to start your weekend. And then in Vancouver, even below seasonal 2, feeling like minus 1. A little bit of a warm up, at least you're above freezing for this one. So very, very cold temperatures for the prairies. We do have a widespread snow event coming. However, not too much in terms of accumulation, about 1 to 3 centimeters for the major cities, Edmonton, Calgary. Then as you head outdoors, out from those cities, a little bit more in terms of accumulations. All these details more in depth. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Bradburry. Lots ahead coast to coast. Maybe not happening just yet, but on its way. We'll start in Atlantic Canada as we have continuous storms along Atlantic Canada. The first storm has moved out of parts of the Maritimes. That's now targeting parts of Newfoundland, but then there's another shot on its way for Sunday, bringing widespread snow as well as some rain to sections. For southern Ontario, we have snow squalls continuing, so they are easing throughout the overnight hours. They will pick up again Saturday night and really continuing into Sunday, along with some widespread snow due to some clippers that are moving in. That's what we can expect this weekend. We do see a change of flow for the coast, BC, as you can see here. So Arctic air about to leave. However, before that happens, we have a couple more shots of snow happening throughout the weekend. Saturday night into Sunday, more snow for parts of Vancouver, and then transitioning to rain with that warmer air. That's ahead for the weekend. With that change of flow, as you can see, that cold air is starting to migrate to the east. So another shot of cold air for Toronto and Montreal. All those details in your Long Ranger now. Lots brewing ahead of the weekend, the first weekend of 2017, the first official weekend. Lots going on coast to coast, especially in the east, and that's how we start our Storm Watch coverage. Messy weather continuing for Atlantic Canada. We have this that is moving throughout the overnight hours. That has moved out of the Maritime provinces, bringing about 7 centimeters of snow to just Halifax, so quite surprising there. And then snowfall falling about 2 to 5 centimeters per hour. So very, very heavy snowfall throughout the overnight hours. And then we have this next one that is moving in. So that's just the first one. Then this next shot of snow comes Saturday evening and then extending to Newfoundland for the overnight hours. Widespread snow with this one. So really, really widespread in terms of accumulations. For Sunday, we will see a little bit of a transition to rain. So Clarenville is kind of in that line of transitioning. Gander may see some rain, and then some mixing too is possible. But really the eastern sections of the Avalon staying as some rain for Sunday, transitioning to rain. In terms of snowfall totals, we are looking at pretty high amounts, upwards of 40 centimeters of snow, as you can see. Western sections, the western coast of Newfoundland, as well as parts of Cape Breton Island, upwards of 20 or rather 40 centimeters of snow. So lots of snow impacting the Maritimes as well as Newfoundland with this one this weekend. For southern Ontario, we have lake effect snow squalls that are easing throughout the overnight hours. The worst of it is over, but they do continue. As you can see, about 20 centimeters of snow expected for areas along the coast, or rather not the coast, the shorelines, Prairie Sound as well as Collingwood, and then a little bit less for the Highway 21 route, Port Elgin, Goderich, that area, about 15 centimeters of snow. That's on top of what has already fallen. We have more snow on the way this weekend with some clippers and then lake effect snow, but then this comes next week. We do have this low that is developing south of the border, and it's going to bring some messy weather. So we do have snow to start for Tuesday, and then we will see this warmer air moving in behind it, and it will transition to rain, and really rain stretching as north as the nickel belt, as you can see Montreal too, and then quickly transitioning back to snow. We take a look outside, very, very cold, but it looks beautiful. Thanks for sending that in. As you can see, cold temperatures sticking with us in the west, minus 13 in Prince George, feeling like minus 21. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Bradburry. Isn't it an impactful and interesting start to 2017? We have lots of cold air as well as snow. We start our Storm Watch coverage in Atlantic Canada. In the east, we do have lots of alerts in place to let you know what is on its way and what has already started. Winter storm watches as well as warnings in place, really covering the whole provinces, maritime provinces, as well as Atlantic, or rather Newfoundland. We do have this low that is developing in the deep south. It is also creating snowfall for areas south of the border, but it's also bringing some stormy weather to Atlantic Canada. As you can see, we'll play this out. This is Friday, overnight hours, and then into Saturday, this first shot of snow and then a little bit of rain, but mostly snow. Halifax has already picked up about 7 centimeters of snow. More on its way, though, as you keep seeing this playing out. Saturday, we have another shot moving in, really targeting the southern sections of Nova Scotia, really the whole province of Nova Scotia with some snow, and then moving to Newfoundland later on. Sections along the Avalon, as you can see, St. John's, you will see a little bit of rain as well. We'll have lots of snow on the ground, as you can see, though, and there's more on its way. As you can see, we have more snow through Saturday, so this is the first burst of snow, and then we have more on its way, depending on where you are, depending on those amounts. As you can see, so Saturday evening into Sunday, areas like Sydney and Cape Breton Island, upwards of 40 centimeters of snow, and then the Avalon to see about 10 centimeters of snow as well. You may see some rain there too. All right, in southern Ontario, we have some lake effect snow squalls continuing throughout the overnight hours and into the weekend too. However, they will ease, so not as bad as we were experiencing the last couple of days. Those will taper off throughout the overnight hours, but an additional 20 centimeters possible in some areas, 10 to 15 down along the lake shores of Lake Huron. So more snow on its way, and it doesn't end there, because for the weekend we have this clipper that is moving in. For Saturday, we will see that lake effect snow pick back up again with those cold temperatures for Saturday evening. Then Sunday continuing with some lake effect. Monday, another clipper that you just saw, that comes in for Monday to start the week. So really widespread snowfall for the weekend. That's what you can look forward to if you're heading on the roads. Definitely keep that in mind. For the prairies, we have widespread snow, not too much in terms of accumulation. The city centers like Edmonton as well as Calgary, only about 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. Outside of the cities, a little bit more in terms of accumulation. In BC, we do have a little bit of a change in pattern. So that Arctic outflow is going to end. However, it's sticking for the overnight hours. So we will see a start of snow throughout Saturday overnight. And then for Sunday, we will see a transition to milder air and then some rain. The valley areas, you will likely see some freezing rain as you're still cold deep in those valleys, but a change in pattern, not what we're used to. The cold temperatures, though, they continue. As you can see, 1 in Vancouver, but look at Regina feeling like minus 27. All right, your locals are now. Well, it's the official weekend, first weekend of 2017. Lots going on for the first weekend. In Atlantic Canada, we have continuous poor weather targeting your area. As you can see, throughout the weekend, one burst of storm has already targeted parts of the Maritimes. It's moved out of there now, heading for Newfoundland, and then another storm headed for Sunday. So that's what we can expect for Atlantic Canada. For southern Ontario, we have lake effect snow squalls continuing really right through until Sunday. They are easing throughout the overnight hours, as you can see here with this radar, just affecting the areas right along the shorelines. However, throughout the weekend, we will see some clippers moving in. That lake effect will pick back up. In BC, we see a little bit of a change in system. As you can see, this Arctic outflow changes pace, and we see a little bit more of a Pacific flow, so temperatures will warm up a little bit. But before that happens, we see another burst of snow to areas, Vancouver included. So Saturday night, you'll see some snow and then transitioning to rain as those warmer temperatures move in for Sunday. Not too warm, but a little bit warmer than what we've been experiencing. As you can see, this Arctic air that has really been causing cold temperatures coast to coast continues to seep east, and we see another burst of cold air in southern Ontario as well as in Atlantic Canada. All right. South of the border, California, we have some messy weather, heavy rainfall causing possibility for some flooding, as well as heavy snowfall for the higher elevated areas. But in Ontario, messy weather midweek. Dr. Dag has all those details next.